I've just watched the final YouGov poll of this election campaign on Sky News, and Labour are on course the biggest majority of any party since 1832. According to YouGov, Labour are set to win 431 seats in the party's history and passing the previous peak of 419 reached by Tony Blair in 1997. And also there are some of Conservatives' big MPs, the likes of Jeremy Hunt, Grant Shapps and even Ian Duncan Smith, are predicted to lose their seats as well. If this turns out to be right, then we are looking at the end of the Tory party. They are effectively going to be, tomorrow, they are going to be annihilated. I don't know how many seats the Tories are predicted to have, but it's going to be very low. Very low indeed. This is because of their own making. What they've done to the country for the last 14 years. They've made a right mess of everything, and they deserve the punishment they're going to receive tomorrow from the voters. And they don't deserve to be in government ever again. I think it'll be decades before we see the Tories in government again. I wouldn't be surprised if Labour don't win 3 elections again like Tony Blair did, or maybe 5. I'm expecting them to win 5 elections. It'll probably be the 2050s before we see a Tory government again. This, like I said, this is their own fault. It's Rishi Sunak calling this election, it's backfired, and nobody's taking any notice of them or listening to them. It's like Keir Starmer says, we want a change. The country is crying out for a change, and that's what will happen tomorrow, or should I say Friday morning, when the votes are counted. And I wouldn't be surprised if Rishi Sunak, or I think they've also predicted that Rishi Sunak could lose his seat as well. He could lose his seat as well, and I hope he does. Not because what he did to Boris Johnson, but he's been a terrible Prime Minister. Terrible. He's useless. And I hope he's got his bags packed, ready to leave on Friday morning. And we see him humiliated when he loses his seat. And that goes for the rest of the Tory front benches as well. The likes of Jeremy Hunt, Grant Shapps and Duncan Smith. Because he was the one who brought in this universal credit. Everybody in the country who's on benefits hasn't forgiven the Tories or Ian Duncan Smith for that. So if anybody deserves to lose his seat, it's him and the rest of the Tories. They all deserve to go, which they will be. I suppose after they lose the election, then over the weekend or into next week, we'll probably see who's going to be leader of the Tories. I don't know who they'll have. I don't know who they're going to choose to be the next leader, but they'll have somebody. But like I said, they deserve everything. Nobody will shed any tears for them or sympathise for them, have any sympathy. I suppose come Friday morning or Friday, people will be having parties of the demise of the Tory party. I mean, Boris Johnson, they wheeled out Boris Johnson last night, hoping he might change their fortunes. Well, it hasn't. It hasn't helped. It hasn't done anything. It's backfired. I mean, we all know what Boris Johnson was. He was a liar. He said there was no lockdown parties when we had COVID. There was. While everybody else was in lockdown, him and the rest of the Tories were partying as if it was nothing was going on. It was a case of one rule for them and one rule for us. They could break the rules when they wanted. Now, I'm sorry, I have no sympathy for the Tories. They don't call them the nasty party for nothing, and they deserve everything. They deserve everything. What's going to come their way on Friday morning when the votes are counted. Well, anyway, that's the end of this video. Mr. Politics here, signing off, and I'll see you all again in another one.